Cool, you've got the title, you have the paycheck, and the years of experience, but maybe your style is still stuck in, 2008? Let's talk about some styling mistakes that most men over 40 are still making at the office. I've noticed that the biggest office style mistake men over 40 make, it's not about color or brand, but it's something really common and super easy to mess up. I'm talking about fit. Way too many guys keep on wearing clothes that used to fit, ignoring how their body has changed. Shoulders widen, waist soften, and suddenly that once perfect shirt now pulls or hangs really awkwardly. But hey, the fix here is simple: tailoring. A slight nip at the waist, a proper sleeve length, a clean pant break, and you instantly look sharper, leaner, and far more capable. Tailoring isn't vanity, it's maintenance. You would never drive a luxury car with worn-out tires, so why walk into the office in a suit that doesn't match who you are now? When the fit is right, confidence stops being a choice and starts becoming aura. But even the best fitted suit can't save a shirt that screams last decade. There are men over 40 who cling to the same outdated shirts they wore 10 years ago, like people were clinging to the lifeboats of the Titanic. And guys, it shows. Wide collars, short sleeves, and shiny poly cotton fabrics that flatten your entire look. The problem here? These details, they quietly age you. I learned that modern shirts are cleaner. Slimmer collars frame the face, natural cotton that breathes, and subtle patterns that look refined and not too loud. A crisp white or pale blue shirt, properly ironed, instantly elevates you even without a jacket. And look, it's not about dressing younger or trying to fit in, it's about dressing sharper. You trade those ballooning sleeves and stiff blends for structure and comfort. The right shirt turns an average workday outfit into an absolute statement and makes you feel confident and undeniably current. And here's the thing, nothing exposes an outdated look faster than what you're wearing on your feet. Shoes are very much the silent deal breaker of the office style. I've seen a lot of guys over 40 still wearing those heavy square-toed dress shoes that maybe once felt professional, but now, guys, they just look tired. The truth is, your shoes actually define your posture, your confidence, and your entire outfit's credibility. So, a sleek pair of derbies or loafers instantly sharpens your profile, while minimalist leather sneakers keep business casual modern without breaking rules. Clean lines, polished surfaces, and subtle detail, that's what signals intention. Scuffed soles and bulky shapes, on the other hand, they undo everything above the ankle. But hey, you replace one pair and you'll see that shift too, because people won't just see you differently, you're gonna stand differently. Because style doesn't start at the tie, it starts when you take that first step every day. I'm gonna say it, you can have a perfect fit and baller shoes, but if your color palette sucks, there's no coming back from that. I've seen a lot of guys who fall into one of two traps, which are blending into the office walls with an endless gray, or they're overcompensating with loud, mismatched colors like shiny ties. Both of those will kill your presence dead. I mean, the goal was never to stand out, but to stand tall, right? Mature style lives in balance. Navy, camel, olive, and charcoal tones that quietly project strength and refinement. The goal is to add contrast through texture and not through chaos. You don't have to go out there and chase trends in order to look current, you just have to look considered. I really think that once you master color control, you don't just look stylish, you also look really well composed. Like a man who's capable but is never really trying too hard, you know? And let's not forget the fact that the first impression often happens before you even walk in on somebody. I've seen that outerwear is where a lot of men over 40 give up. They'll spend money on a really nice set of shirts and shoes and then throw on an old windbreaker or faded parka on top of everything, which instantly undoes the work underneath. Trust me, a sharp coat changes that story. But even the smallest accessory can silently expose how much you really care. Listen to me, guys. Your bag says more about you than most of us have ever realized in our entire lives, because we've always been told that bags are for women. But let me tell you, countless guys over 40 walk into the office with gym backpacks. They've got frayed straps, or they've got bulky old briefcases that look like they've survived a decade of commutes because it's what we're supposed to have. It is an instant and very obvious style mismatch. A structured leather brief or a sleek fabric messenger tells a different story, one of discipline, order, and confidence. No, you don't need a luxury logo. You need clean lines, quality texture, and some very subtle hardware. The right bag complements your outfit the same way a good watch does by finishing the statement. When your accessories match your intention, people notice the difference. Because in the modern office, how you carry your work often says more than the work itself. But all that still means nothing if the face above it all looks tired. Way too many guys over 40 think that grooming stops mattering once you're established, and that is a huge freaking mistake. I'm gonna be real with you guys. A wrinkled shirt, you can easily overlook that. But messy, greasy hair or dull skin, you can't. Grooming isn't vanity, it's maintenance. Let me repeat that again. Grooming isn't vanity, it's maintenance. The same discipline you bring to your job, that's reflected in how you present yourself to the public. And even when you look amazing, if something still feels a little off, people will notice. This is the final and most overlooked mistake. Dressing well, but you start wearing doubt. Sure, you can buy the perfect suit, a tailored shirt, polished shoes, but if your posture slouches or your tone hesitates, everything collapses. I always say the clothes don't create confidence, they amplify it. The fix here is internal. Stand straight, speak clearly, and move like you belong where you are. But the smallest detail on your wrist says more than your entire outfit. A lot of guys over 40 either overdo it or skip it entirely, and I'm here to tell you to stop it. I see some guys wearing these huge oversized, shiny watches that scream for attention or a knife fight. A good watch is never really about flash, it's about intention. Trust me, a clean, sharp, mid-sized dial on leather or steel quietly communicates reliability and precision. It tells people you value time, whether it's yours or theirs. You don't need any luxury branding here. You need balance, proportion, and presence. Be it a vintage piece, a minimalist quartz, or an automatic that you've kept for years, the right watch anchors everything. And it's more than just part of your look. I've always imagined it to be part of your story. Because in an age where everyone checks their phone, the man who checks his watch is always going to stand out. If you got any awesome tips to share, sound off in the comments section down below.